Alright, so you got the idea of wanting to build a computer. What you can do, I mean, these motherboards have gotten really inexpensive, or if you just want to try one just to kind of get a little knowledge, go to these computer places that deal in recycled computers and just get you a used motherboard, because they'll guarantee it for, you know, probably a couple of weeks. Get you the CPU fan. You want to be sure to get that, and you want to be sure to get the CPU itself. And this is the memory, and they'll make sure they give you the correct memory for your board. Now on this one I have two of them, so I'm not exactly sure how much this is. This is, looks like 2 gig. It's hard to believe that this stuff goes obsolete so quick. But in any case, okay, we got the motherboard, we got the CPU, got the memory, got everything we need. And the one thing I want to caution you about is these motherboards are very sensitive. This is normally a bag that these things come in, and it's a conductive bag, which means it's got a lot of conductive metal or something in there. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, when you take it out of the bag, lay it on top of that bag. Don't lay it on carpet or plastic or anything, because any little thing, even just touching something, if you drag your feet across the carpet, you'll build up enough static electricity in you that if you touch anything, it's going to short across it, and then of course you've wasted the motherboard. So, and here I'm on a concrete floor, which I'm not going to say it's the cleanest in the world, but that way there's no chance of me conducting any kind of a spark. And before I get started on this thing, if you have something that's grounded that you can just kind of touch, just like even just touching the screw. Of course it's got paint on it, so you need to scratch some of the paint off of it, but anyway, just touching anything that's a ground going to electricity, if you're ever worried about having a little bit of static built up in you, then you want to make sure that you get rid of all the static. Here's a good example. Just a clip-on lamp. And of course some of the other folks will probably come up with something on their reply part. Anyway, so when you get this motherboard laid out, put it on your plastic that it came out of. And I have found, I've done them both ways. I put the motherboard in the case, and then I put everything on it while it was in the case, but sometimes it gets a little tight in there and it's hard to deal with it. So now what I'm doing whenever I build one, I always build it out here, and I just have to make sure I don't touch anything. I mean, I know you're going to accidentally touch something, but since you're already discharged, there shouldn't be any problem. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put the CPU in here. Okay, take it out of the case. One thing you don't want to do, you don't want to touch any of the contacts. Here again, we've got more sensitive stuff. This one's a little easier to put in because it's got 2 notches, so that it can only go one way. Alright, and there's a little catch right here that you use to pull this over. You push it down. Oh, if I can get it over there, I can't. There we go. See, this is where it's kind of hard not to touch something. Anyway, it goes down and then up and catch, but I'm always touching everything on top. Okay, so now we've got the CPU installed. Nowadays, these things are coming with their heat sink stuff already on there, but I've got a little thing, I'm gonna put that on there. Okay, got the heat sink stuff. So now all we want to do is just put like 3 small little drops, no more than that. This stuff has got metal in it, so you don't want to get any of this on the board. See if I can't get it out of here without pushing too much at one time. Okay, there's a drop. There's a drop. There's a drop. And there's a drop. That may be too much. I hope not. We'll find out. Because you sure as heck don't want this stuff squashing out. That happened to me one time. Oh boy. That was a mess. Of course, you know what I had to do. Alright. Now we've got the CPU fan. Most of them come with a copper base on them with the aluminum fins. That's to dissipate the heat, because these things do get really hot in a hurry. And what you want to do is find out where the wire hookup goes. They're all in different places, like this one is right here. So you don't have to hook the wires up yet. You can stick this on and then wire it in. So here again, you want to go, you don't want to put it down there and then move it around. You just want to go right straight down with it. So you want to try to line up your your holes so that you hit it first time. Let's see. Okay, there we go. You don't want to do what I'm doing. I'm sitting here trying to. Okay, now the one thing I got to do is I got to lift it up so this thing will latch in. Well, sometimes you got to fight to get these things on there. Most of the time they just fall right in. Uh-oh. See, this, you can see what's happened to this one, how I got on top of the board and pushed it down before I stabbed a screw in there, and it squashed it apart. So we got to back this out and try it again. Okay, anyway, you turn it to the left and then pull it up and then push your. See, here's the same thing happened over here on this one too. So turn it. Oh boy. There we go. And this one too. Okay, we got everything pulled up. Now let's stab them again. Now these, I guess I should have showed that to you first, but these little plastic, I guess you want to call them nipples or tits or whatever you want to call them. They get stabbed in the hole. Like we're headed into this one right here. Pushed it down and got it in there. Got that one in there. That one and that one. I said these were the easiest. I think these are really the hardest to do. Well, that didn't work very good. Well, I don't know why this thing's so difficult to get in there. Normally they just, there it goes. Just wasn't pushing hard enough. Yeah, you got that one and that one. Got that one. Okay, got that one. And one more. There we go. Okay, yeah, we just had to push down a little harder on that. But you could hear it snap in. Okay, tighten that one. Push down, tighten that one. Okay. Push down, tighten that one. You only go a quarter of a turn. Push down, tighten that one. Take your screwdriver. Once it's set, see how it pushes down and you turn. See you got that little space under there. You want to push it down, and then you want to take it to the right, or counterclockwise. There we go. I mean, excuse me, clockwise. Okay, they're all seated. So now, the good thing about this is now you've got a handle for this motherboard that you can use